They're sending an officer to my property.
$5,600 a month. That has a pool. That's my next place.
Splash your money away.
I personally love watching on YouTube videos what people spend, so I thought, why not do it in a London version? I mean, I've got like 10 years on most of the people who do these videos, but if it gets me on the radar of Graham Stephan, I'm totally okay with complete strangers judging my personal financial decisions. Let's start with my weekly spend for the life admin stuff. So I pay all of these monthly, but I split them up, so I'm telling you what I pay for it in a week. Utilities, which includes electricity and water, I don't have gas in my building, is £10.45. My phone is £2.33, my mobile phone, obviously. Internet is £5.83. Council tax, which is like property tax here, renters have to pay that, is £20.77. And for my subscriptions, which are just Netflix and Spotify, it's £4.66. I'm not including rent in this because I don't want to, and honestly, I don't really think I need to further explain it beyond that. Okay, so let me walk you through everything I spent in a week starting on Monday. I started the day with checking my mail, which I hadn't done for like a week because I keep forgetting the key to get into the lockbox. And I realized that I had a letter telling me that I had not paid for my TV license yet. This was like the only thing that I forgot to set up when I moved into my new flat. A TV license is what you have to pay every year if you watch TV, like the free channels and also the BBC. It like funds the BBC because it's a public thing, and some of the other programs and things. And the letter they sent me was pretty threatening, saying that they're sending an officer to my property to see or to collect money or see if I had a TV or something. They send these letters out all the time. I know that they probably weren't going to do that, especially during COVID, but I paid it anyway because it was a good reminder. So that was £159, and that covers me for the year. I worked from home all day that day, and I also built this lovely desk that's right next to me. Flat pack is my own worst enemy. And I had all my groceries for the evening to make dinner, so I just popped out to the shop to get some natural toothpaste, which cost £3.99. So the total for Monday was £162.99. Tuesday, another very interesting day of me working from home. I promise, stick around, it is gonna get a lot more interesting towards the end of the week. Every morning, I usually just make my own tea. I have these really nice tea leaves from when I went to Kerala in India. I had all of my food all ready to go, and I did cycle to the gym in the afternoon. On my way back to the gym, I did stop into Sainsbury's, which is a supermarket here, supermarket chain, as I needed to get some bread, balsamic vinegar, tomato paste. That was it, and that all cost just £2.65. So for dinner, with some of those things, I made a vegan bolognese. And Italians, I know you're gonna look at this and be like, that is not proper bolognese. I agree. I didn't even have tagliatelle, but I was just using the spaghetti that I had on hand. That night, I also sat in on a virtual development meeting to show my opposition to this new sort of like corporate-y building that they're trying to build in Shoreditch.
Dominate the area. We will suffer from light pollution into
And after I watched that, I went onto the app called Treatwell, where you can book salon appointments. And I found a salon to book in for a manicure and a pedicure because I haven't had one in like a year. And I wanted to support a salon that had been shut for a very long time. I had to pay for that up front, so that was £39. So Tuesday's total was £41.65. That's them Indian tea leaves in there. Wednesday morning, I woke up to a text from my friend Carolina asking if I wanted to meet her for a coffee and to have a little bit of a walk before we started the day. And I grabbed a cinnamon bun from Pavilion Bakery, as well as a coffee from Hermano's, which I think they give me a discount because I bring my own reusable cup, but both of those things cost £2.50 each.
Do you want some Rio? I have $5,600 a month. That has a pool.
Splash.
That's my next place.
Splash your money away.
Then for lunch, I was really craving a bagel, but there's a little cafe that does bagels and sandwiches that I had been meaning to try. So Carolina and I went there to get some lunch, and I got a vegetarian sandwich bagel thing, and that was only £6. Then I went back home, and after I finished the rest of my work day, I went to meet a friend at Mother Kelly's, which is like a beer a beer bar. I had 2 beers and they were £5.50 each. And on my way home after seeing that friend, I stopped at the grocery store and I got myself a frozen pizza and a bit of vegan chocolate. And altogether that was £8.50. So the total for Wednesday was £30.50. Thursday, I worked from home again and then made it to the gym in the afternoon. And then after the gym, I went to my nail appointment that I had booked on Tuesday. And while I was very happy to get my nails done, get my cuticles done, the place I went wasn't very good or hygienic, so will not be recommending. Then I had a really good evening plan, so I had to cycle back home quickly, change and get ready, and then get to Barge East, which is a really cool like boat on one of the canals, and they also have all this outdoor garden space where people love to go and eat and drink. It's a very popular evening spot around Hackney Wick. And I was meeting some of my YouTube friends, which maybe you might recognize some of them. We had some drinks and some food as well. Their strawberry daiquiris at Barge East are so good. I always have to get one, even though they make me so cold while I'm sitting outside. I got a strawberry daiquiri, a couple of spritzes, and my meal. And altogether, that totaled £37.20. And then just before it got dark, we did cross over the canal and go to Brewery, which luckily had some outdoor space for us to stand and have one final beer before hitting the road. And that beer was £4.20. I then made my way home and I made a little bit of a tipsy purchase of some eco-friendly socks, which to be fair, I really needed them because all my socks have holes in them and I just really can't get away with it anymore. So those socks were £41.70 from Thought Clothing, making Thursday's total £83.60. Oh man, I ate very well on Friday. So first for lunch, I went to Arepa and Co. This place is so good. I met a couple of friends there so we could have a nice Friday lunch. It was about to be the bank holiday weekend. Everybody had off on Monday, so the city was all buzzy and excited. I got a cachapa there, and they have this lunch deal that they do. I think it's £7 for a main and a drink. I forget exactly what it is. And by the time we also got drinks and coffees and dessert and service charge, my total was £19.42. Then I had to make my way to the bike shop because the mud guard on my bike fell off. Totally my fault. I dropped the bike in the middle of Shoreditch High Street, but I went and dropped my bike off and it ended up only being £20 to get that completely fixed. Once I finished working for the day, my boyfriend arrived to my flat and we went for a nice little dinner at this pizza place called Nebula. The pizza was really good and I had their vegan option and the vegan option was fantastic. We had a couple of drinks, but my total came to zero because I was treated. So the daily total for Friday is £39.20. Nope, that's wrong. The daily total for Friday is £39.42. Saturday. Now Saturday was buzzing because we mostly had good weather and everyone was just so happy to be having our first bank holiday weekend in a long time where we weren't locked up inside. I started my day by heading to Bohemia Place, which is where they have frequent rotating pop-up markets. And on this Saturday, they were doing a vegan market and they had lots of vegan food and drinks, but also they had some ethical and sustainable sellers of different types of items. Lunch was really hard for me to decide what to get because there was a lot of options, all of which I was quite interested in. But I settled on these Korean barbecue wings and some chips, which were so good. And they only cost £6.50. I also walked around the market a bit more as I wanted to check out some of the people selling regular non-foodie things. And there was this woman running this book stall called, I think it was called Book Love. And it was all really interesting books. She also had a bunch of books about feminism and racism and things like that. And she had actually a lot of the books I already had, so I didn't see anything. But then at the last minute, I saw this book about Grenfell. So I picked that up and that was $16.99. I also spoke to this lovely Sicilian guy who was selling olive oil from his family's sustainable, apparently, farm in Sicily. Of course, I was sold on that, and I had to get the 9-pound bottle of olive oil, although it's quite nice olive oil. You have to pay more if you want good olive oil. And finally, I went for an Oreo brownie for the road to walk with. Later that evening, we met my friend Elle. Elle's been in a couple of videos. She was on my old podcast that I did. She's my friend who's an author. She wrote The Guilty Wife and a bunch of other great books. And we met her husband as well, and we went to this place called Love Shack, which is fully vegan. We hadn't really planned on doing that because I'm the only vegan, but it was the only place that I could actually get a booking that had cover because it was supposed to rain, and luckily it didn't. We got starters, drinks, mains, no dessert. But altogether for me, it was £58.25 because I was paying for my boyfriend to pay back the favor. So the Saturday total was 94 pounds and 24p. Sunday, I love going to a market on Sunday. Victoria Park Market is a really good one. So we ended up going there and meeting Carolina and her dog Rio, and we got some lunch there. So I ended up getting a vegan biryani from Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, and that was £10.50. And after we sat in the park and had our food, we walked around the park a bit more, and we also walked around Victoria Park Village, and we stopped at Balcone, which is this cute little coffee shop. And Caroline and I had a coffee, but also we both got an ice cream sandwich. These ice cream sandwiches are so good. They're made by this little indie brand in London, and delish. I paid for both Carolina and I, so it was £14.20 for that. And then because it was bank holiday and we weren't working on Monday, we met some friends at two pubs. The first, People's Park Tavern, and the second one, Royal Inn on the Park. And the way that drinks are often done here in London is if you're in a group and you know you'll be sticking together for a little while, is that people will buy in rounds, especially right now because a lot of places are asking you to order on your phone. So instead of all of us having to go in and like enter our card information about like a bunch of times every time we want a drink, just one person gets the order and pays for it, and then the next round of drinks somebody else pays for it. So that's what we did. So when I got to my round, it was £38 and 89p. We did end up having quite a few drinks, and then once it got dark, it was time to go home because it was cold. So I came back to my flat and ordered some Deliveroo, and I did have a credit, and so that ended up being £9.34. I had a Deliveroo credit because the last time I ordered from Deliveroo, I got something off the plant-based menu, but it was chicken, so I got chicken. So the Sunday total was £72 and 93p. So the total for my weekly spend, not including all the utilities and life stuff, was £514 and 18p. Now I track all of my spending. That's how like I keep my budgets and know where all my money is going. So this doesn't surprise me too much, but it is a bit higher than it usually would be because of that £159 TV license I have to pay for. So if that wasn't included in it, my spending would have only been £355 and 18p. Plus it was bank holiday weekend, my boyfriend was visiting, everyone's still very excited about being able to eat out, and I'm happy to support the businesses that are able to be open by stuffing my face. Now the total, including all of my weekly life expenses as well, I talked about in the beginning of the video, is £558 and 23p. I hope this was insightful for you about how this one Londoner spends her money in just 1 week in London. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you're gonna do that anyway, even if I hadn't asked that. For more videos about living in London and moving to London, you can click the box that's popping up. Let's do it over here. Click the box that's popping up right here, and you will be guided to another relevant video that you should definitely totally watch.